Hello and a very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are this morning's headlines. Minister of State for External Affairs General V.K. Singh clears the air about his resignation, says it is all speculation, also affirms his allegiance to the party and the Prime Minister. Indian Army reiterates its opposition to dilution of AFSPA, says withdrawal of dilution could lead to escalation of violence. Black box of the crashed Germanwings Airlines plane found in the French Alps, no hopes of finding any survivors. And days ahead of the presidential elections in Nigeria, Boko Haram militants abduct about 500 children aged around 11 from the town of Damasak. Well, just a day after igniting a controversy with his tweets about disgust and duty, Minister of State for External Affairs General V.K. Singh has said all was well. In a late-night press conference yesterday, General Singh dismissed all speculation of his resignation. In his tweets on Monday, Singh had referred to his presence at the Pakistan National Day celebrations.
ना तो मैंने कोई पेशकश की है, इसलिए मैंने कहा कि हमारा कई बार कई लोग कई चीजों को अपने मन घड़ंत तरीके से दिखाते हैं.
Minister of State for External Affairs General V.K. Singh downplaying the controversy he created when he tweeted about the reception at the Pak High Commission. He stressed that it was standard practice for Kashmiri separatists to be invited to the annual Pakistan Day celebration, just as it was the norm for India's Minister of State for External Affairs to attend the yearly dinner.
There was nothing new in it, including attendance by separatists who have been there year after year. Only difference this time was of optics, as a previous Chief of Army Staff was being seen, though people forgot that he was a Minister of State in the present government.
Affirming his allegiance to his party and to the Prime Minister, General V.K. Singh said his tweets did not undermine the government. Instead, they targeted sections of the media that tried to portray the dinner as a nationalistic event.
Even though my party and government understood the issue, the media kept on hyperventilating. My tweets on duty and disgust, which came under lot of scrutiny and misinterpretation over the past 24 hours, has left me perplexed and shocked.
After attending the reception at the Pak High Commission, General V.K. Singh had tweeted with two hashtags, duty and disgust, suggesting that he had gone to the reception only because he was duty-bound. But he later clarified that his attendance would not demoralize the army he'd led till recently and that this was just a creation of the media's imagination. General Singh's clarifications came after a high-level meeting at the PMO late last night. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And for more on this, joining me on the phone line is our correspondent Shyam Sundar. Shyam, as far as this entire controversy is concerned, General V.K. Singh seems to have downplayed it and said that he is with the government and there is no issue and the matter is closed.
Yeah, Frank, and he downplayed the incident on the instructions from the Prime Minister's office because it was made very clear that the way he aired his opinion and the way he used social media to manifest his opinion, the PMO was not very happy. And in the late evening meeting at PMO, the BJP President Amit Shah and other senior leaders like Arun Jaitley and Sushma Swaraj, Mr. Rajnath Singh, they were present. Though there are reports that they discussed land bill and other issues, but in that meeting, General V.K. Singh's issue also came up, and immediately he was told to clarify his stand in the media, as we all know that Prime Minister Narendra Modi written to the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Nawaz Sharif, to initiate dialogue between two countries, and he said that talks are necessary to resolve bilateral issues between two countries in a terror-free atmosphere. So when Prime Minister office is trying to initiates the dialogues. At that time, MOS MEA, if he raises these issues through social media, clearly it is an embarrassment for the Prime Minister's office and government in general. So, General VK Singh was told by the Prime Minister's office to downplay the whole incident and clarify his stand in the media.
All right, Shamsundar, thank you so much for joining us there with those details this morning and bringing us up to date with the latest on that particular story. Moving on now, the Indian Army continues to be against any move to dilute the Armed Forces Special Powers Act in Jammu and Kashmir. Reports quoting sources within the Army suggest that the Army feels that if AFSPA is partially withdrawn or diluted, there are chances that radicalization and violence levels could increase. The Army's comments follow a statement of Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mufti Mohammad Saeed, in which he said that he would proceed with phased removal of the controversial act after consulting the force. AFSPA, which was enacted by the Parliament in 1958 to tackle insurgency in the northeast, has often been described as a draconian law which gives overreaching powers to security forces. But the Army terms AFSPA as an enabling act which provides the requisite legal safeguards for the carrying out of effective counter-terrorist operations. Meanwhile, the Jammu and Kashmir government clarified again yesterday that the Disturbed Areas Act of 1997 has ceased to exist, but the AFSPA continues to remain in force in the state. A state government official said that a notified disturbed area in Jammu and Kashmir have been declared under AFSPA.
Disturbed Area Act is gone, it's finished. What is in existence now is the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, and there is a notification issued under Section 3 of this Act which declares the districts as disturbed areas, and based upon the notification, the Armed Forces of the Union operating in the the 20 districts of Jammu and Kashmir divisions, except Leh and Kargil, enjoy those special powers, and the provisions are existing.
Joining me for a chat this morning to talk about the entire issue is Lieutenant General Rajya, retired Vice Chief of Army Staff. Good morning, Lieutenant General, and thank you for joining us on the program. Well, as far as the Armed Forces Special Powers Act is concerned, there has been a lot of debate, a lot of deliberation over the last few years, and this particular issue has come to the fore yet again because of what the Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mufti Mohammad Saeed said just a couple of days ago. As far as the Army is concerned, the Army is very certain that it wants AFSPA to be in place in Jammu and Kashmir, because if it is repealed, the Army says that the violence will only increase.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Pereira. I am happy to join you. You have already given the background to the AFSPA that it came in 1958 when the Nagas had formed a parallel government and the situation had gone beyond the control of the local police authorities. The army was called in. It is a standard norm throughout the world that whenever the army is involved in a civil disturbance, they are given special legal provisions, legal protection. Americans have done it, the Pakistanis are doing it. Pakistan, in any case, even in peacetime, no soldier can be tried by the civil court. But that is not our role model in any case. Now, this is not an act which was demanded by the army. It was passed by the parliament because it was the national lead, and even today it is a national lead. It is mandatory in the interest of national security that the soldiers are provided legal protection while operating in civil areas. Now you are talking of dilution. Review of any law is a constant ongoing operation. Unfortunately, all these voices that are seeking a review or a dilution, they go to Jammu and Kashmir. Army as an organization is always reticent. It is introvert, they do not communicate so well. So these people come with a linear view and try and influence public opinion. This is nothing but a propaganda launched by the militants because they are the one who are hurt by the legal provision. All this talk that under the provision of this act, the soldiers run amok, they commit rapes, they commit murders is baseless. The first organization that is interested in soldiers maintaining high standard of discipline is the army itself. Otherwise the army would have broken up.
Indeed.
Let me put it bluntly that if J&K today is still part of the country, it is because of the army and because of the legal protection that you're giving. Now, when you talk of dilution, there are two ways of talking. The Act has 6 simple sections. They are interconnected with each other. First is use of force. Then you can carry out a search. You can destroy a hideout or a dump. You can arrest people. Although the next section says the arrested people should be handed over to the police with the least possible delay. All these are interconnected. If you are allowed to carry out a search, if you are not allowed to do the arrest, then the search is meaningless. If you stop searching vehicles, search is in 2 parts, one is premises, other is vehicle, then it is a free run for people to carry explosives and arms unchecked, and there will be negative impact.
Indeed.
Second, therefore you cannot dilute any portion of the Act. The second dilution we talk about is territorial. That wherever you say, okay, look, south of Banihal, the situation, people talked about it. But these 2 attacks last week in Kathua and Samba have disproved the theory. The militants do not act by boundaries. Wherever you remove the Act, they will make a safe sanctuary there and the whole thing will restart again. Now, somebody says that this Act has, the prerequisite for the Act to come into force is that the area must be declared disturbed. Earlier, the power to declare it area disturbed was with the state because the law and order is a state subject.
Yes.
But in 1972, this power is also assumed by the centre. Centre can unilaterally declare any area. If anybody today says that J&K is not a disturbed area, then I think we are not being realistic.
But Lieutenant General,
if somebody says technically
but Lieutenant General, the point is, see, there are several people.
If we say that the Act expired in 1998, then it is technicality. You cannot hold the country to ransom by technicality. It must be extended. If the area is not disturbed, then why is the army there?
All that said and done, you know, you made valid points, and of course, the army knows what it's doing, and no one is going to question the credentials of our Indian army because the men have done a tremendous job as far as safeguarding the interests of the country is concerned. But if you look at the Act itself, several people have termed it as draconian, several people have termed it as outdated. Should we look at it then in a constructive manner and maybe look at it, as phasing it out slowly?
Look, phase it out slowly, but wherever you are phasing it out, move the army out. Don't keep the army in civil areas and then say, all right, hey, the situation is peaceful, we don't need it. There have been, look, army is made of human beings. There have been errors, they continue to be errors, and they will continue. However, these are minuscule in number. They are magnified by the propagandists, and whenever any willful act of defiance of the Act takes place, army is the first one to punish people. Very severe punishments have been awarded in the past. Even the Human Rights Watch, we sent a commission there, they have also accepted that many people have been punished who got involved into this kind of acts. They are all human beings, they are working under stress. Working for counter-insurgency operation is a very, very difficult environment. A soldier does not know who is his friend, who is his adversary. Mistakes are bound to happen. But to punish a soldier for any genuine mistake, I think you are discouraging the army. You are demotivating them from acting.
All right, Lieutenant General, we'll have to leave it at that. Thank you so much for putting things into perspective for us and sharing your views, your expert views as far as the Armed Forces Special Powers Act is concerned. Well, on that note, it's time to slip into a short break, but coming up on the other side, Asian Development Bank forecasts India's economy to grow faster than China's. That and much more coming up. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
A new government in New Delhi. New faces.
People are not investing because they are scared of your tax administration.
New thinking.
The auction process is a fair and good process.
You cannot have a one-size-fits-all reform policy.
For insights and perspective.
Judiciary should be more concerned about corruption within itself.
The Modi government slogan of "Achhe din aane wale hain." Soon the people's slogan will be "Hamare purane din lauta do."
The biggest show on economic policy. Watch State of the Economy.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, the Asian Development Bank has projected India's growth rate to surpass China and improve to 7.8% in the next fiscal. The Asian Development Outlook said India's growth and investor confidence will improve on the back of government's structural reform agenda and improved external demand.
Is Indian economy set to surpass China? As per the Asian Development Bank projection, Indian economy could grow at the rate of 7.8% in the next fiscal and could even cross the 8% mark. Experts feel government's push on the reforms has started to show results.
Government is on a structural reform process and the government is pushing through with the reforms. If you talk about international investor confidence, my personal view is that international investors are looking towards India with much more confidence, and India is being looked as a land of opportunities.
With China's economy expected to scale down from 7.2% to even below the 7% mark, India may emerge as a new strong market not just for the foreign investors but domestic investors as well.
Long term it will have a big positive because those long term investors and buy only funds world over, they will see this as an indication to put more money, to invest more money in our country and in our capital markets.
With government trying hard to defend itself on the legislative business and its reform agenda inside and outside Parliament, the ADB's projection on economy is positive reinforcement for the government. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, in a big relief for traders in Delhi, the State Assembly has approved amendments to the Delhi Value Added Tax Act of 2006. The amendments will make it possible for traders to avail credits from input tax even after the end of a financial year. Earlier, it was necessary to claim refund on or before March 31st. The change in the VAT Act was a long-standing demand of the city's traders. The government agreed to make the changes after making a detailed study over its implications. The earlier system of claiming refunds before the end of the financial year was said to be cumbersome with fear of the refund amount lapsing. The amendment will now allow them to carry forward their credit to successive financial years. Let's now take a look at the news and events lined up for today in our segment The Day Ahead. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch a new website today for public grievances called Pragati. Through the program, the Prime Minister would review progress of government schemes by talking to top bureaucrats in states and central ministries through video conferencing on the 4th of every month. The Prime Minister will also offer directions on issues raised and the system will have to follow up and review it till the issue is closed. The 22nd National Congress of the Communist Party of India will begin today in Puducherry. The 5-day meet is aimed at strengthening the unity of left parties at the national level to reconnect with people at the grassroots level and to chalk out strategies for the future. The budget session of Tamil Nadu Assembly will begin today. Chief Minister O. Pannirselvam, who also holds the finance portfolio, will present the budget. The session is likely to be a stormy one, with opposition parties likely to raise a number of issues including the state's financial position. Scrutiny of nominations for by-elections in the 4 states will be done today. By-elections will be held on April 11 to fill 6 casual vacancies in the legislative assemblies of Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Punjab and Uttarakhand. The last date for withdrawal of candidature is the 27th of March. Let's now bring you up to date with other national news and updates in our segment Nationwide. An Indian Navy surveillance aircraft crashed last night about 25 nautical miles southwest of Goa with 2 officers on board missing. The Dornier maritime surveillance aircraft, which was on a routine training sortie, crashed around 11 p.m. A search and rescue operation has been launched following the crash. 1 officer was rescued while search is on to locate the 2 other officers, including a pilot and an observer. Rajya Sabha Chairman and Vice President of India, Mohammad Hamid Ansari, admitted a motion to initiate the impeachment process of Justice S.K. Gangele of the Madhya Pradesh High Court. Justice S.K. Gangele faces accusations of sexually harassing a former woman additional district and sessions court judge. 58 Rajya Sabha members submitted the motion to the chair earlier this month. Posted in the Gwalior bench, Justice Gangele is now serving in the principal bench of Jabalpur. The centre has approved 2,000 crore rupees relief fund for drought-affected areas in Maharashtra. The Home Minister sanctioned the fund under the NDRF. The state faced severe drought last year due to poor monsoon affecting crop yields and drinking water supply. The committee has also decided to extend assistance to Himachal Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh, which faced floods and landslides. The Indian Navy added 3 immediate support vessels to its squad to enhance coastal security. The vessels T-38, T-39 and T-40 are part of the 84th Immediate Support Vessel Squadron and were commissioned in Visakhapatnam. They are designed to carry out surveillance for long hours. The Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation (IRCTC) has come up with a debit card service, Rupay in Delhi. Railway passengers can now book their tickets, do shopping and pay service bills with these prepaid cards. IRCTC launched the service in collaboration with Union Bank of India and National Payment Corporation of India. Moving on to some international news now. The cause of the Germanwings plane crash could soon be determined with the recovery of the black box. Rescuers climbed the steep slopes of the French Alps to assess the crash site. The body of the plane is in a state of destruction, leaving no hope for any survivors. Here's more.
A picture of horror. Smoldering wreckage and a piece of the fuselage. Aerial footage of the crash site of the Germanwings aircraft shows the extent of damage to the plane that went down in the Alps on Tuesday. Rescue teams scouring the crash site have managed to find the first of the black boxes, which will be examined soon.
Boîte noire que nous avons trouvée quelques heures seulement après le crash et qui sera immédiatement exploitée permettra à l'enquête judiciaire en cours.
The French police confirmed that no survivors could be expected of the 144 passengers and 6 crew members on board. They say it could take days to recover all the bodies due to the difficult terrain and the snowy weather conditions.
La priorité, c'est de ramener le maximum de corps, tous les corps qui peuvent être ramenés afin que les légistes, les spécialistes de l'identification criminelle puissent.
Germanwings say the plane started descending 1 minute after reaching its cruising height and continued losing altitude for 8 minutes. But what nobody knows is why the pilots did not send out any distress signal during the time. News of the crash was greeted with shock by relatives and international leaders alike.
Before I begin, I want to say that our thoughts and our prayers are with our friends in Europe, especially the people of Germany and Spain following a terrible airplane crash in France. It's particularly heartbreaking because it apparently includes the loss of so many children.
I just want to express my sincere condolences for the tragic airplane accident that happened today. I just called Chancellor Merkel to express my condolences. I think that this is a tragedy not only for German and Spanish and German people, but for all of us.
Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, Nigeria has been marred by insurgency troubles for the last 6 years and no solution seems to be in sight in the near future. People have little hope that the upcoming presidential election or a new leader could bring change to the country. The youth is expected to play a major role when the country heads to polls on Saturday, the 29th of March. The incumbent Goodluck Jonathan and his main opponent, former military leader Muhammadu Buhari, are the top contenders. but many are apathetic to the election. The military has not been able to guarantee security, especially from the Boko Haram militants. In the latest incident of violence, the group is believed to have abducted about 500 children aged 11 from the town of Damasak that was recently recaptured from their hands. The group has also pledged allegiance to Islamic State militants. Boko Haram had caused international outrage last year after it abducted around 300 girls.
Nigeria must move forward. Nigeria is for the youth. Nigeria is not for old people like us. The youth must redefine this country. The young generation must redefine this country. We must take this country to where we want to go. Nobody can push us backward.
Win our trust again, because it's been a very competitive thing between Jonathan and Buhari, and I don't know who is going to win, but whoever is going to win should be able to do something.
All the international news and updates in our World Wrap now. The United Nations Security Council on Tuesday threatened sanctions against senior individuals in South Sudan for actions or policies that jeopardize security and stability. The statement came after the war-torn country's leaders failed to agree on a peace deal. South Sudan plunged into civil war in December 2013 when a political crisis sparked fighting between forces loyal to President Salva Kiir and rebels allied with his former deputy Riek Machar. At least 6 demonstrators were killed and several others injured when Shiite rebels fired bullets and tear gas to disperse protesters in Taiz in Yemen on Tuesday. The protesters were demanding the withdrawal of the rebels from the southwestern province. The rebels, known as Houthis, seized the capital city Sana'a in September last year and have been advancing south. In recent days, they have closed in on the southern port city of Aden, where the internationally recognized President Abed Rabo Mansour Hadi is now based. US Secretary of State John Kerry has touted America's growing economy and said America is without doubt one of the best places to invest, if not the best place. Kerry credited US President Barack Obama's economic and trade policies for the turnaround in the US economy. More than 2,600 people from more than 70 markets and economic development organizations from all over the US attended the 2015 Select USA Investment Summit, which Kerry addressed. Well, the 62nd National Film Awards were announced yesterday. Vikas Bahl's Queen was awarded the Best Hindi Film, while Kangana Ranaut won the Best Actress Award for her performances in the film. This is the second time that Kangana won the award after she won it for the Best Supporting Actress section for the film Fashion in 2008. Vijay was named Best Actor for Kannada movie Nanu Avanalla Avalu, and apart from that, of course, Mary Kom was the best popular film. Chaitanya Tamhani's Court got the award for best feature film. Heather turned out winner of several awards, including best choreography, music direction, costume design and male playback singer for Sukhwinder. Bengali director Srijit Mukherjee won the Best Director Award for Chotuk's Kon. The supporting actor awards were bagged by Tamil actor Bobby Simha for Jigar Thanda and Baljinder Kaur for the film Pagdi. Killa was named Best Marathi Film, while Harivu was declared the Best Kannada Film. Nirbashito won the same award in the Bengali film category. Well, let's now get you all the sports news in our sports beat. In shuttler, Guru Sai Dutt entered the main draw of the Indian Open Super Series after beating USA's Satawat Ponganarat and Thailand's Tamasin Sithikom in the qualifying rounds. The Commonwealth Games bronze medalist will play Korea's Lee Dong-kyun in the first round on Friday. Out of the 20 qualifying spots, 14 were grabbed by Indians. Michel Platini was re-elected as the UEFA president for the third time on Tuesday. The 59-year-old, who will serve for another 4 years, hailed the European soccer's governing body to be the best but criticized FIFA's scandal-plagued leadership. The Frenchman expressed disappointment over the running of the World Football governing body FIFA, adding that UEFA will not back its president Sepp Blatter this time. Golf legend Jack Nicklaus was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal on Tuesday, the highest civilian honor the US Congress can bestow. Nicklaus has won a record 18 majors and 73 PGA Tour events in his career. He is the 7th athlete to have been given the award. Well, that's it on this edition of the Breakfast News. Have a nice day.